Hello, it has been such a long time since I've done a recipe video. If you've been following along on pretty much any of my other social media accounts, you know that this fall has been a rough one with the broken foot and root canals and bronchitis to COVID to back to bronchitis and a chronic cough to a cracked rib from all of the coughing, which I still have not kicked completely. I always have a chronic cough this time of year, and I don't have the plague anymore. Like, I'm good there. I've been tested, but it's definitely been a rough fall. So this Thanksgiving, I'm just going super easy for my mom's side of the family. I'm just bringing a dip. Usually I'll do like a pie and, you know, my crock pot full of chicken and noodles as well, but with the way I've been feeling and like the amount of sleep that I've been needing lately, we're just doing a nice and simple dip. Literally, I'm pretty sure every single person in the Midwest has made some variation of this dip before, but I just wanted to share the goodness if you haven't. So all we need is cream cheese, sour cream. Every single thing in the Midwest comes with sour cream, in a packet of Hidden Valley Ranch, a little thing of bacon. This one is 4 ounces, and some cheddar cheese. I have made this with just sour cream and it's just as good, but I always like to add the cream cheese if I have it available, if I have it. These are all things that I usually have on hand anyway, so yeah. So we're just gonna go ahead and open up our cream cheese. And also, I do have a miniature crock pot warming up. If we were going to just be having Thanksgiving at my parents' somewhere close, I would just put this in like a little casserole dish in the oven to warm it up. But my mom's family is a couple hours away, so I'm going to take it in a little crock pot. It's just as good. I kind of like it in the oven better actually, but we're making do. So just, I can get this open. I just think it's easier to mix them up. If I can get, yeah, okay, there we go. I just think it's easier to mix in a bowl beforehand, before I throw it in the crock pot or the casserole dish or whatever. So if I was thinking ahead, I would have taken this package of cream cheese out of the fridge like an hour ago, let it soften up a little bit, but not that smart. So I know I keep coughing, it's so bad, I can't stop, which I usually get like this time of year anyway. Like, the plague didn't make a big difference in that. So we're just gonna go ahead and put this whole package of Hidden Valley Ranch in there. Actually, not the package. All right, and then open up our sour cream. This is a brand new package because we're gonna be using the whole thing. So I'm just going to dip about half of it in there at first, and we're gonna mix that up to the best of our ability. I know it's difficult, especially when it's cold. So once we get that cream cheese and half the sour cream mixed up, I'm gonna go ahead and mix in a little bit of the bacon. You just have to watch out for that Stay Fresh package. And again, well, I guess I just poured in all the bacon, so. Again, it would be way easier if I had a bigger bowl. And you can also, if I had the time and the energy, I would make fresh bacon bits, but I don't. And I find that like in dips and stuff, I really like the Hormel, the real bacon bits. That works pretty good for me. And then we'll just pour in some of this shredded cheddar cheese. I like the mild. People seem to like that the best. And I really am only gonna pour in half of this. a little over half of this. But the number one tip I have is to get that ranch dressing mix up with the at least part of the sour cream and the cream cheese before you mix anything else in, because otherwise it just doesn't mix very evenly. So now that we have that, I'll just do it as a whole. Get stuff on there. So I actually don't know. I'm not sure actually how big this is, but it's like the perfect size for dips. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of this in there. And then top it with just some of the plain sour cream. And just kind of layer that just to make it a little bit easier to mix. Like I said, we're putting this whole thing of sour cream in there. This is the Midwest. All right, that's all in there. I love sour cream. I can eat it plain, so dips are my favorite, because let's be real, the base of any Midwestern dip is sour cream. And we're just gonna go ahead, put the rest of that right on in there. And this is why I don't have a show on the Food Network. I try my best. It's just been a whole hot mess around here lately, so we're gonna go ahead and mix that up before we add in the rest of this cheese. I find that cheese is the hardest thing to mix in, so I always try to put that off a little bit. All right. Mix the rest of that in, but while I am mixing this up as best as I can, let's talk about KidKare. So last year you guys blew me away with your donations. KidKare is a local organization, if you weren't around last year, that my grandma always volunteered her time with in our county, and it's something that they just do so much good. And it's not only our county, it's like the surrounding counties. I think they're up to like 4 or 5 counties now. And they provide sponsorships for kids throughout the year to make sure that, you know, the kids whose parents can't afford like the softball registration fee, you know, someone pays that so their kids get to participate in sports, things like that. But they do a big drive, especially at Christmas. And I always, you know, try to do some Christmas sponsorships. And then real quick, we're gonna go ahead and just plug that back in, and we're just gonna stir it as it heats up to make sure it mixes evenly. But back to KidKare. So they just do so much good. They provide tutoring, haircuts, you know, birthday gifts, Christmas gifts, so much to like make sure a kid still feels like a kid, and still feels like, you know, they're the same as their peers. And our area actually, just one second, let me get a towel. Okay, our area actually has a pretty high, I don't actually know what the poverty rate is, but I'm pretty sure that we're close to 90%. Well, now everyone's free lunch because of COVID. But before that, we were close to a 90% free and reduced lunch rate, which just kind of goes to show the level of financial stability for families in our county and surrounding counties. But last year, you guys were so great about donating so many toys and money. I do appreciate when people send me gifts, like that's so much fun. But I have been so blessed. even with the past few months of being sick and injuries and things like that, God has still blessed me beyond measure, and I'm so grateful. So anytime, like, let's just pass on those blessings. So last year I did an Amazon wish list of mainly just toys for kids, and I did the same thing at back to school with school supplies for KidKare and my sister, who's a teacher. But I asked the people at KidKare who are running it what they needed most, and the things they need most, they're not the fun things to buy, I get that, but they're hygiene items, and then gifts for teenagers. Everyone loves to buy, you know, the toy tractors and dolls for little kids. I love to buy those things anyway, but fewer people find it as fun to buy gifts for teenagers. So I have two lists. They're so grateful for anything you're willing to donate, but I'll have a list below in the video description, an Amazon wish list for kids and an Amazon wish list for teenagers, and I'll probably like add stuff to them the next week or so. And then also I'll leave the link directly to the KidKare website. And last year, a lot of people, I don't know if they had it on the website and I just didn't realize it, but several people just sent me cash or checks to donate. So I just like put them in a pile and donated it directly to KidKare. But if you yourself want to donate directly to KidKare, there is a spot on their website. It's like right up front. Like I said, they just provide so many services for the people, the families in our community, and my grandma, she's passed away a few years ago, but she was so passionate about helping them. And I just remember like when she would help out in the offices and stuff, she would take my brother and sister and I along. So it's just a good family memory, and of her instilling in us at a young age to help people who were less fortunate than us, without making them feel like they were accepting charity. She had mastered that. So yeah, if I can use this community that we've built up over the past year to give back, I would really love that. So I don't know why I'm like starting to cry. Maybe it's just thinking about my grandma, but she was a really wonderful lady. But we're just gonna go ahead and stir that dip and keep stirring it. And then I usually just, I like wheat thins with it. I also got those pretzel thins. But if you would rather just send your donations or whatever directly to me, I'm more than happy to pass that money along. I think they do get charged like a small service fee through PayPal for donations. So I'm more than happy to do that. And also I'm like, if you don't want to donate to KidKare because it's not your community, I totally understand that. I'm sure that there is some sort of service in your community who would be so grateful for anything that you could give this holiday season or year round. Yeah, like I said, KidKare, they keep like a stockpile of gifts. So if something doesn't get given, like if something you donate doesn't get given as a gift for this Christmas, they let kids come in and pick birthday gifts, you know, because every kid deserves something for their birthday, not just Christmas. So yeah, anything that you could give to either KidKare or some other wonderful organization this holiday season or year round, I just hope you know how appreciated it really is. So yes, I know that this recipe today has not been super exciting. I haven't been feeling well. I appreciate my family being like, yeah, don't worry about bringing anything strenuous. So, but this dip is super easy, especially if you are not someone who enjoys cooking. I don't know anyone who dislikes this dip. And if they do, they're certainly not from the Midwest. So I'm gonna unplug this. I think I'm gonna plug it into the car on our way over because it's a couple-hour drive. But yeah, I hope you all have a very good Thanksgiving, and I promise I will be back with more regular videos and especially recipe videos very soon.